Welcome back, everyone. I'm Vita Prestior. This is Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 17. We're back at it again. We're in Gold 3 now. It cost us like 17 matches in all of our point-saving tickets. My health definitely took a downturn, but it was probably not because of the 17 matches. It was probably for other reasons. So I've been sick for the past couple of days. I'm on the recovery, so I'm okay for now. The box, I definitely made some changes as promised. I dropped Tatalia, I dropped Connie, and I replaced them with Angelina and Ashimir. Pretty much the goal here is to provide as much utility and mobility to Silvaria's Valkyria form as possible. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So this is our first match trying this out. And our opponent here is definitely kind of a standard box for the most part. It's kind of a balanced standard, I guess you would call it. Because usually for people that are trying hard, they are either going to be doing a rush box with a lot of the meta units, or going to be doing a more tank push. This one does have at least one face that's not usually in the meta, which is SPL meta. I think the goal here with the 3 healers here, where all 3 of them have the ability to either be completely immune to debuffs, or give you stacks that ignore debuffs, or reflect debuffs. It's definitely not too bad. It's a 3 healer 2 tank setup. So it is possible to do something where you ban the healer first, and then you can force them to pick either tanks or healers. But to do that, you would have to literally seed essentially 3 picks for your opponent. In which case, the 3 picks would have been, Isolde, Andriel, and Jace. And at that point, them having a tank or healer is the least of your problems at that point. So it's definitely not something you would go for. Beyond that, there's anything that stands out. It's just a lot of meta units that have capabilities. There are some characters that provide act again. There's some ability with Auden Kelmo there. I believe Auden Kelmo has her inscription now. I don't remember. But in any case, her inscription makes it so if you take her portals and stuff, it will give that person a buff as well. So I go ahead and get rid of Andriel because he's the biggest problem. And I did think for a bit, and I decided to embrace the bit here, in which case I picked Silvaria. My opponent goes straight for my act against, gets rid of Liana, gets rid of Eshian, grabs Isolde. This Isolde is infantry. I did go and look up what the difference between infantry and dragon class for Isolde, and the major difference is more HP and more defense, which is pretty helpful if you're just trying to keep her alive. I go ahead and get rid of Eshian, get rid of Jace. Jace is, of course, very annoying with his guard bypassing and teleporting, and of course, Eshian is an act again. I go ahead and grab the Awakened one. She provides not only a faction buff for Silvaria, she also provides a swap, and swapping does not count as a teleport. Anyone who doesn't know about Silvaria sniping, in her Valkyria form, she cannot move again, or be teleported. But she can be displaced, and she can be swapped. So this works. I go ahead and lose the rest of my act agains, which I'm okay with. I'm player 1 in this case, and I really only need 1 good snipe. They go ahead and grab Auden Kelmo, which gives them more mobility. I get rid of Liana and get rid of Rosenseal, and I pick my Rosenseal. So at this point, there's kind of nothing I can do about the healers. I'm just trying to I'm forcing my opponent to pick the least troublesome of the healers, which is Meta. But with our stacks of reflection, I'm not going to be able to do very much as far as doing the spellbounds or anything like that. They go ahead and get rid of my Angelina, get rid of my Namiya, and they'll go ahead and grab the Meta. So at this point, I'm down to 4 tanks, and I have Ashimir left. So I'll go ahead and get rid of Sword and Light Shadow, get rid of Awakened one. Awakened one swaps were something that kind of scared me as well. I could have banned their tanks at this point, but like I said, I kind of just want to play it safe. I go ahead and grab Ashimir, and they go ahead and ban Lightbringer and Christian, which I'm okay with. Freya actually has someone she can faction buff now. Ashimir is Origins faction. In fact, I think them two are the only Origins in my box now. Anyway, they go ahead and grab Namiya, which on this map can be kind of dangerous because there's a lot of water. And at this point, I go ahead and just get rid of the rest of the DPS. It's hard it's hard to say if it would have been better for me just to go for the tanks at that point, because I think I kind of outranged them. I mean, it would have forced my opponent to be much more aggressive instead of holding back, because obviously the goal here is to get Izolde fully stacked up and let her go crazy. The rest of this is not that devastating, to be honest. But I played it. I played to my usual strength, which is going up against standard tank healer boxes, and let them have a tank here. They do grab Christiane, which is probably the better pick since the majority of my stuff is magic. All right. So Awaken 1, I did bring her single target. Poison Bat Mages, 3C, Dimensional Shift. Rosen Seal, Shrine Maidens, I brought all heals because I didn't need her faction buff. She does not get a faction buff from Freya, but honestly, Rosen Seal having a faction buff is the least of my concerns. Freya here did bring Redeemers, Crystal Spike, Rose Lash, and Fury of the Rose. She does have her Inscription enchant, which makes it so whenever she does Rose Lash or Fury of the Rose, she will get Spear Phalanx for free. Ashamare, I brought all of her single targets, 3C in her little displacement act again here. And she's using Fairy Spirit Prophets. I think the staff she's using right now is just the red staff, the one that gives like intelligence and HP. It does have some good enchants on it though. Besides that, I think I already mentioned it, but Ashamir, Angelina, and I believe all my healers except for... Actually, it might be all my healers. Yeah, Ashamir, Angelina, and all my healers currently do not have full inscriptions yet. Mainly because of the final tier that drops the rarest, unfortunately. It just takes a lot of time to get everything stacked up. Anyway, our opponent here, Almeda. So, obviously max stars. Brought Roast, her selection skill, and then she brought her... is this her 3C? I don't remember. I don't know. I think it is. Actually, I don't think it is our 3C. No, Roast is our 3 skill. So, Roast is 3C, and then she has her 2 SP exclusives. Christiane here is infantry with phalanxes. Not the best pick for troops, but that's okay. Everything else is pretty standard. We got Izolde here as infantry. One thing to note about her being infantry, while it did increase her defense and HP, it did make her foot troops for movement, so she can't actually walk across water for free or anything like that. Auden Kelmo, also Izolde, Steelmane Werewolves, and all of her exclusives, nothing too surprising. Auden Kelmo did bring Deflection, which gives her buffs, just a general buff, and then anyone that uses the portals gets damage reduction. Has 3C, and then she has her single target exclusive that lets her teleport after. And then, of course, Fairy Spirit Prophets. Namiya here, Fairy Spirit Prophets, brought her 3C aim, and then she brought Wave Ride. This is what this does is after her action, two of her closest allies will be able to ignore her movement cost when moving through her special terrain. So it's a way to kind of give additional mobility to her allies, namely probably Izolde here. Alright, so with all that said and done, let's see what we do. So I play it slow here. I go ahead and just go Spellbound because this is going to be the only time I get Spellbound up because Almeda is just going to put those reflection stacks up. So get the faction buff going. So seeing the tank move back, I can definitely see that my opponent's just going to hang back and try to get Izolde prepped. So I go ahead and get some crystal stacks going because every time Almeda takes an action, 2 people are going to get 2 debuffs. Alright. So not much standing out here. Right now Izolde can't even reach the portal right now. Also, one other thing to note about Izolde in infantry is she only has 3 movement. I believe in dragon form she has 4. So she actually has not the best movement right now. And it will catch up to her. Alright, let's see. Yep, that's pretty much everything there. Namiya can't really get anywhere. She doesn't have the guard bypass stuff, so the most she can do is her 3C. Which the 3C is not going to do much when I have crystal barriers. So, the most annoying thing is it's going to put terrain out, which is going to boost everyone else's movement whenever she does her passive. So that's really all I have to pay attention to. Alright, Almeda now bows, so this will get them 2 stacks of reflection. which goes up to 3 eventually. So I do Valkyrie power here. I'm not expecting to get a snipe off this round, or even next round. To be honest, I probably should have just passed the turn and waited until next round for doing the sniping. That would at least give me a little bit more control over when I actually fire. But at the very least, it does still put some pressure on my opponent. Right now the range is 3, 6, and 9, so right about here. So pretty much everything beyond the portal will put them in range. So yeah, it's still a threat. I'm not sure if she can snipe Isolde. Oh, I did forget to mention, I did do dancing on a dance partner with Silvaria, so she also has the additional plus 15 to all of her stats except HP, which is definitely a very welcome buff. And she can get even more attack if I go into the offense formation. So just getting some passive healing going, getting more crystal stacks up. Yeah, the only unfortunate thing is the terrain on this map makes it so it's very awkward to actually get in a situation where I can actually pull or swap Silvaria. Yeah, I did wait and see if my opponent would do something stupid like get, 10 range out from Silvaria, in which case I would have done a swap with Silvaria and try to do something, but she just passes turn, and that's completely fine. Alright, so the train is out now. And she gives Wave Ride to both Adankelmo and Isolde. One thing to note about this Namiya is she is not 6 stars, she is only 5, because this is only a 3x3 and not a fat cross. Alright, so yeah, what this means is she can use 2 of those spaces to get additional movement, so she can go all the way to here, and then she can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then snipe anyone. Right now she does have the guard bypass talent active, so she can definitely come in and kill somebody, but she would be exposed afterwards, and then I would just get the counter kill. And if I get rid of Isolde, the rest of it's not a non-issue. So I play it a little safe right now. Go ahead and get some much needed stacks up as well as some passive healing. Namiya goes ahead and spreads out more terrain. This is only going to hit my tank. Yeah, as you can see, the amount of mobility here definitely noticeable. So yeah, I'm just trying to get past this water that's in my way. It's actually really annoying. So I'm guessing the act again here was just a cycle, so the portals come out sooner. One thing to note is Namiya did back away after the 3C, but she is within 9 range now of Silvaria, so I'm going to be able to take her out. Granted, she kind of already done her job, but taking her out means no more Wave Ride, and that's something I definitely want to happen. So yeah, this was all about just counting. So the Wave Ride only lasts for 1 turn, so Isolde lost the Wave Ride. So now she can only go to here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then her range 2 ability goes to here. So this just bought me around to avoid being sniped. Alright, so now I'm going to cap out on 3 stacks here. Alright, sniping away on Namiya. She's mixed class, so it doesn't matter if she was immune to fixed damage or not. Broke last rites. And I did, I don't know, like over 5 times her health and damage. Alright, so portals are up. So again, I'm just kind of seeing what my opponent does. The biggest danger here is time is running out. She's going to get her next... Yeah, she's going to get her next talent ability at the end of her turn. And then if she gets her third one through, getting a kill with 3C or something, which can guard bypass now, she'll be able to get the full stacks and then start doing act agains. So resistance is active. So at this point, there's no way of avoiding it. She can get to anywhere she needs to go, and then she can do a move again with Primordial Soul and go after any character she wants right now. But I go ahead and do some Rose Lash, just do some damage. Does pretty good damage, and she's not fixed damage immune because she has the mobility item. So 3C with Roast, which does a lot of debuffs, but I'm not that concerned about it. So I go ahead and do a Dimensional Shift and swap. I go ahead and throw out some Spellbounds. This is really just to do whatever. It reflects back at her, but I had stacks, so it didn't matter. And then I go ahead and test the tank and see how well they can handle magic damage. At the very least, I can kill the Phalanxes easily enough. Alright, so right now Christiane has high mobility thanks to the Wave Ride. Honestly, she's also standing on a portal, which the portal would put her here, which will put her in guard range of Isolde. And like I said, the biggest issue now is Isolde. When she starts getting kills, I have to find a way to kill her before she finishes everyone off. But my opponent does this, and I don't know why. So my only guess is my opponent assumed I didn't have the range staff, which I don't. I don't have the range staff right now. So I can only shoot to here. And maybe going off of that, and maybe just being very aggressive with the pushing. But I have a move again and act again, and it won't cycle my buffs. I was a little concerned because my buffs are wearing off right now. In fact, I think Sylvaria's just worn off, yeah. So faction buffs have just worn off on most characters. But I do have some plus damage dealt, thanks to the Awakened one. And the act again and move again I get from an Invitation to Dance does not reduce buffs. So I'll still have my dance active, which is a bunch of extra buffs and so forth. So yeah, I can reach. Let's just put it that way. So Invitation to Dance, which would have pulled her closer. Get 3C here, and yeah, 40,000 damage. And then I go ahead and replay my my dance. Or dance partner. And that's match, because yeah, at that point my opponent just doesn't have a way of getting kills. All they had left was Zod Kelmo. Zod Kelmo only has a single target and an AoE, both of which aren't going to do too much because her portals are so far away that they're not going to actually stack any debuffs. But yeah, it was mostly this was mostly kind of my opponent just making a blunder that kind of got me the win. If it got to the point where my opponent was going to be trading kills, it's hard to say. Because I don't think I was going to be able to get in a position for Sylvaria to get a snipe in. It would have had to been a race to kill Christiane, which I think would have been possible. At which point, like, yeah, if the blunder had not happened and Christiane just moved up enough to be still within guard range, I would have done 3C on Christiane, which would have probably would have gotten kill. I mean, Christiane had like 1100 magic defense and also has magic damage reduction, but I was like over 2000 int, and I did have plus 20% damage dealt, among other things. So I think I still would have gotten at least rid of at least one of Christiane's lives. And if Isolde did get killed with 3C using guard bypass, she would have gotten her third stack, but I don't think it would have triggered act again right then and there. It would have had to wait till next round. In which case, at that point, I would have had to have an answer, else things would have gotten really, really bad. But if I had taken out Christiane at that point, I think I would have probably came out on top on the trades. It's hard to say, but that blunder saved me, so I didn't have to find out. Alright, so yeah, with that, So far, our silly little gimmick team here has succeeded. So it has a 100% win rate right now. We'll see if that will stick around for the next few weeks. Anyway, I am Theta Press Dior. This was Langrisser, Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 17, and I'll see you guys next time.